What's up, guys? Welcome to the Tree Hugger Smoke Shop. This is Tree Hugger TV, episode 2. Today, I'm going to be talking about how I started the store, everything I had to go through from beginning until now. So it all started when my homegirl, Mai, hit me up. She owns Glam House on the corner. I'm not sure if you ladies have been there. It's a great nail spa in the Los Angeles area on Pico Boulevard. So she was like, yo, a store just opened up. Like, would you be interested in, getting it? I'm like, hell yeah, I want a store. Like, of course I can get that. I was gonna put my money in places where it'll grow. Put me in contact with the dude. It was very cheap. He said it's only $1,100 a month rent. So I got very extremely lucky to be on such a popular street for only $1,100 a month. So I'm like, of course I'm gonna take it. Like, that's a steal. Easiest thing I can think of is a smoke shop. Like, I mean, the smoking district is in downtown Los Angeles. So it's like, why not? That's only like 15 minutes away from where I'm at now. So it'd be super easy to restock. I ended up paying the deposit and I think like 2 months rent. Was it? Yeah, so I ended up paying around like $3,600. I came to look at this store. It just looked like a dungeon. It looked scary in here. It was so dark, paint on the windows, paint on the wall, like just, it was fucked up. Outside, my little entranceway that you guys saw in the beginning of the video was so messy. I had a lot of work to do and it smelled so bad. That was the main thing. Like, it really stunk in here. So I asked the landlord, what is that smell? It kind of smells like water damage a little bit. Like, if there's damage here, like, I really want to know what type of money I'm going to be spending on the place to fix it, I need to know all that. He was like, oh no, it was a clothing store before. So he was like, oh no, once you take the clothes out, it should be a lot fresher. Yeah, I had to repair the glass. Like, one of these glass pieces were broken. And it happened to be the biggest one. Like, the biggest one was broken. This thing was covered in grass, but the grass was just so tacky before. It was like bright green, but like it looked like it was used already. I had to get rid of that. I ended up getting the turf from Home Depot. So the first couple things I did to like build out the store was remove that turf from outside because there was paint thrown on it. I wanted all the turf removed from inside and I wanted them to redo the floor, which was a big mistake. So if you're ever trying to do a store, do not start with the floors the way I did and do them last. That was definitely a mistake on my end. Which is crazy, Mai, who built Glam House, told me that, but I was just so thirsty to try to get it done. That was like the first thing available that the builder could do. Shortly after the floors were done, the floors had just got finished getting put in. A storm comes for 1 to 2 days only. I swear to God, it had never flooded since. But I'm so happy that it flooded in the beginning of this process because it didn't flood outside, it flooded in my store. My whole store was so messed up. The floorboards were messed up. It smelled way worse in here. I was crying for like 2 days straight. Like, I do not want to have to come out of pocket 4 to 5 bands. What? I have to pay an extra 4 to 5 bands just to get a roof redone? That should already be done. And I asked you. That's what really made me mad. I asked y'all, was it damaged? That made me so mad. Then they're telling me like, okay, we'll fix it. We're just gonna go on top of the roof. And where the damage was I guess there's a tree outside. So the tree leaves come on top of the roof and stop from the water from draining. The water was just piling and coming through, which it's literally pockets of water just in the paint of the ceiling. It was just so devastating. I waited for it to dry up. It ended up drying up. Never rained again after this. He's telling me I can't repaint the walls after the paint is damaged from the leak, the flood. It's not a leak, it's a flood. It was a flood. The entire floor was covered in water. It was so dirty. He's telling me I can't repaint the walls because there's mold in the walls. So not only did you guys lie, you knew that this was a problem for a while because the mold has been there for so long. And that's very dangerous to our lungs, especially during times like this. So I was very mad. Like, this man put so many people in danger. Like, you don't know what type of respiratory systems people have. So that made me very mad that I found mold in the ceiling and the wall. So I had to rebuild the ceiling and the wall. I paid the little $4,000 to $5,000, whatever, extra on top of what I already had to pay for everything else. Everything else, probably total, I probably spent, including inventory and the build out and the deposit and the first couple months of rent, around $15,000, $16,000, around there, which is a lot more than what you should be spending on a store. I just wanted it to look nice, and plus I also had damage, so it really should have been around like $9,000 to $10,000. So after I rebuilt the whole ceiling, the walls, I put in my chandelier. It's so sparkly, I fell in love with it. It just looks like stars in space, which is kind of like the vibe with my Rocket Girl. So I had to repair the grass. I went to, like I said, Home Depot, and then I redid all the grass so it looks a lot nicer, but I'm still gonna get it rebuilt. This is the only thing in the whole store that didn't get worked on. I replaced everything in the store except this closet, but I'm definitely going to get it rebuilt because I just want everything to be brand new, and I really needed a closet, so I just kept it. So after everything was rebuilt, finally got to stock the store. I might end up getting these cases. Luckily, the store before left them for me. Then I got the store sign after that. I did all that last, the super fun parts. So we're gonna recap on what you would need for a store. Definitely, you're gonna need determination. You're gonna need to be ready to take whatever. You need to have a little bit of extra money just in case if stuff happens. And yeah, you need a team. You really need a solid team. You need to make sure everything gets done quick. You need to make sure that every time you wake up, that your store is getting done is the first thing on the things to do. Again, however much your rent is, location is important. That's going to depend on how much your rent is. But it's also going to depend on how much money you're going to make back. So like I said, I'm very lucky to be only paying $1,100 rent here. And it's such a busy street. Like Roscoe's is across the street, Lamb House is on the corner. Some of you might have heard of Queen LA, the plant store. Kennedy Pico, the lingerie store. We jam in down here, the Caribbean restaurants, and also we're getting another restaurant next door, which will also be Black-owned Caribbean restaurant. It's very nice, indoor, outdoor. And that is the last of my story time of how I became a business owner of Tree Hugger Smoke Shop. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment on what you guys would like to know next about Tree Hugger. Thank you.